With the embargo date lifting for the new 2022 Cobra driver tomorrow, that means only one thing: cheap Radspeed golf gear for everyone. Guys, how you doing? Welcome back to a brand new video. Simon down here, a very beautiful winter morning here at Sanford Springs Golf Club, and I want to talk about the 2022 Cobra driver that's going to be released tomorrow in terms of embargo date. So you're going to see tons of reviews on YouTube, you're going to see tons of posts on social media, and no doubt this is going to be Cobra's best driver with unprecedented ball speed and everything else. But that's not what we want to talk about. What we want to talk about is exactly what impact this is going to have on all the old equipment, especially the Radspeed, because the prices even at the moment are actually pretty reasonable for a club that came out less than a year ago. And if you're looking for an upgrade, if you're looking to obviously get another driver for 2022, but you don't want to spend $350 plus, well, watch this video because I've got some interesting points to make. So if you wouldn't mind leaving this video a like, subscribing if you are new, let's get into the video. So before we get into the sneak peeks that we know of what the 2022 Cobra driver is going to be, let's just look at the plain facts. Last week, TaylorMade, Callaway both released their embargo dates of their new equipment, i.e. the Stealth driver and the Rogue ST. And let's just look through some of the data in terms of prices of both of those drivers and how the demo equipment, as I made in the last videos, is that as soon as the new leaks or the new clubs come out, you've got tons of pro shops up and down the country, you've got tons of club fitters, and you've also got people that just potentially had the Sim 2 or had the Epic Speed and they want to upgrade to whatever the club is, meaning you've got a ton of supply that's about to hit the floor. And as you can see, the prices here, I mean, it's pretty reasonable, not to mention obviously the background you can see here. It's relatively cold, so especially in England there's not that much demand. There isn't that many people obviously looking for the clubs, and I would say TaylorMade and Callaway, maybe TaylorMade more than Callaway, are the biggest brands when it comes to golf equipment, so they're going to be in more demand than most. Throughout the entire year, I've said how the Radspeed, especially when it comes to second-hand, just isn't really there, which is great news for you, but not necessarily great news for the people that did buy it brand new. And as we go through this video and I show you the price structure of the Radspeed equipment, realistically, this stuff is going for just as much as equipment that's 5, 6, 7 years old, which is just absurd to me because the Radspeed, I've hit it, I've tried it, it's as good as the rest. Now, when it comes to selling drivers, it is pretty much all down to marketing and fancy photos, and I have to say TaylorMade is definitely on top of the game when it comes to that and using their players to the best of their ability to sell the equipment that they have coming out for that current year. However, I have to give Cobra the top spot in second place because what they've done and initiated and thought about is actually genuinely genius. Bryson DeChambeau, easily obviously their biggest star player in their stable, and the fact that he won tournaments this year and had an F7 LTD driver, and let's be honest, Bryson changes the driver week in, week out, but the fact that he won with a driver that is currently 6 to 7 years old is astonishing, and great marketing for Cobra themselves to bring out another LTD driver. That is exactly what you're going to be seeing this year from all the Cobra players, and the fact that they've got players such as Bryson, and you're seeing clips with Carl Berkshire breaking a ball speed record of 233 with this thing, only goes to show the foresight and the genuine interest Cobra have in social media and players and influence and creators, and especially with Bryson starting a YouTube channel, Carl having a very big social media presence. These are the kind of things that are going to sell equipment, and there's going to be a lot of people trying to trade in their Radspeed for something that is breaking records here, there and everywhere on the ball speed meter. We're not talking about TrackMan, we're not talking a robot, we're talking actual stats. And yes, I'm not going to lie, it is the players, and I'm pretty sure both Bryson and Carl could have anything in their hands and still get phenomenal ball speeds. But the fact you're seeing it and people are picking up on it and these records are being broken by a piece of equipment that has been brought out this year, it just makes sense that it's going to do well. However, with that all being said, you haven't got a club head speed of 155 miles an hour, and nor has many people even got a club head speed of 100 miles an hour with a driver. So what should you be looking for your next driver? And there's great news, because I do feel Cobra alongside Peng do bring out some of the most forgiving, high launching and optimum spin rates for you average golfers, amateur golfers that have club head speeds with their driver from 80 to 90 to 100 miles an hour. And not only that, these Spectre drivers, let's say 12 degree with senior flex, 12 degree with regular flex shafts, are going for a very reasonable price on eBay. So let me go through the prices now. Let's see where it is today, because I can guarantee over the next week, 2 weeks, before we start getting into spring and it starts getting warmer and all general golf clubs start increasing in price anyway, this is a great time for you to get your hands on a Radspeed driver that's less than a year old. Aesthetically one of the better looking drivers of 2021 for a fraction of the price. So obviously we'll look at sold listings as well, because that's equally important to see what the final selling price is, because a lot of these are just essentially people just putting it on there and just naming their price. But brand new with the wrapper, 259 as a start off, and that's not even going down the list and seeing actually what is selling as well. I have started to see, as I say, we see a lot of clubs, and this is normally what happens. Most demo places, most club fitters, they have to have a senior flex shafts in certain options. They have to have 13 degree driver heads, 12 degree driver heads, as that comes as a demo package, and they can sell 10 degree heads, they can sell 9 degree heads, they can sell stiff flex, because everyone wants stiff flex, everyone wants a 10 degree head. Even if it's not right for them, they want it because that letter on the shaft is very important for their friends to see. But again, you can see pre-owned here, 229 senior flex graphite. This thing looks like it's hardly been touched. Now it has come out at 349. The Radspeed is £100 cheaper than the TaylorMade, the Callaway, so of course the second-hand price is going to be cheaper as well. But what I want to relay to you is that if I fitted for a Cobra and I fitted for a Callaway and I fitted for a TaylorMade and you had no idea what you're holding, I'm pretty sure in my mind's eye that if I give you the same shafts and the same heads, same lofts, you honestly wouldn't be able to tell between the lot unless it was sound, and they all sound very much similar together anyway. So again, you can see if you wanted to go and get a Radspeed now, you can go there, get it. This ladies one, again, see here it says ladies, and I know it's got a ladies flex shaft in it, but this would be perfect for some of you, and that has hardly been touched. And yes, it's got obviously it's going to have an L on the shaft, but it's just slightly softer than a senior flex shaft, and some of you potentially with a driver head speed of 60 to 70 miles an hour, that would work absolutely perfectly for you. Again, you'll see tons of driver head onlys. These are obviously club fitters that just obviously want to get rid of old stock, and as you can see here, if you've got the F9, you could probably sell your F9 head for the exact same amount of money as this, the F9, with that Rick Shill's YouTube video last year, and a massive backing from pretty much everyone, because it was that much cheaper than the M5 that came out and performed just as well. Again, second-hand price, because the awareness is so high for that F9 head, you could probably sell the head for £150 and then pick up a Radspeed in the wrapper for £35 more, which is crazy. And that's why I love doing this kind of stuff when it comes to the second-hand market, because it just doesn't make sense. Again, hit £119, boys and girls, for a 10.5 degree head. Obviously been used for custom fitting. Okay, it's got a few scratches on the back there, as you can see, but that is an unbelievable price. I've actually seen this shop before. I've got it saved, as you can see there. I highly advise a lot of you guys to actually save this shop. Obviously I'm not paid to say this, but I've seen in the past, I've actually genuinely been interested in buying stuff from these guys, especially at launch, because they do and sell their equipment at a very, very reasonable price. I'm not going to lie, especially their pre-owned equipment. So yeah, it's definitely a store to obviously have on your watch list. But this is my point. As you can see going through here, you've got left hand head onlys, because a lot of these places still going to need the shaft for next year. They won't actually replace the shafts, or they'll sell the shafts individually because they feel like they could get more money for it. But again, here left-handed, £109. The head is the important bit. We can all buy a shaft for £40–50, and to be honest, you could probably find a shaft that best suits you, or you can even get an adapter and change it onto the shaft you got at the moment. But for £109, I just can't see why you wouldn't pull the trigger on this club. It's a great driver. It's as good as the Speed Zone. It's as good as the F9. Arguably it should be better, even though those margins are so small. And again, I think the colour and the aesthetics of it just makes complete sense. This is something that I would easily snap up if I was going to be buying or building a bag. And to be honest, if I didn't have the PXG and I didn't get on with it so well, I would probably be buying this now to obviously put in my bag for 2022 as I rebuild the rest of it, like the irons and the wedges that I currently am. Another interesting note to be said at this point in time is because it's rumoured that the G425 is not being replaced by Ping this year, so it's going to keep staying current, which I think is a good decision. I think the G425 sounds awful compared to S, but obviously that's a personal interest of mine. I actually thought when I bought the G425 second hand, I don't know, 6 months ago, I thought I bought a fake one just because the sound just wasn't right. But old Ping, the G425 has been selling for a lot cheaper until, because people have this anticipation the new one's going to come out, so they need to offload it. Lo and behold, now they're not bringing anything out, so all of a sudden the G425 is now selling for more than it was a week ago. You were getting the G425 for like 250, 260, something like that. All of a sudden, the price of it, as you can see here, 329, 349, 300, 339, 281. And this is a lot better than the TaylorMade and the Callaway combined. Them, again, 250, 220, 200. And they're more expensive than what the G425 came out at. So you can see how these rumours, you can see how these leaks or the anticipation of new equipment coming out will drop the price of the second-hand stuff. And this won't change from year to year. I love making these videos because I love you being aware, but over the next week, 2 weeks, as you see the new hype build up for the LTD driver, which I genuinely am interested in trying. So guys, there you have it. Go and put that Radspeed driver on your watch list, and if you can get this bad boy for 150 to 200 pounds, maybe 180 over the next 2 weeks, I guarantee to pull the trigger. The speed zone still going at 190, 200. Be able to play a whole entire season with this driver and sell it at the end of it and not lose any money at all. You're essentially renting a driver for free. Guys, if you like this video, leave it a like, subscribe if you're new. Catch you guys later.